DJ Metal Craig of DJ Metal Craig of Craig's Metal Storm here. I have one of the members of the Quill with me today. Hey, how's it going? And would you like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band?
Hi, everybody. I'm Christian from the Swedish band The Quill, and I'm the guitar player in this long-lived, what do you say in English? We've been here for quite a while, and I've been here from the start in this band. Yes.
Please go back in the history of the Quills and how the band all got started.
Yeah, we got a pretty long history actually. Me and the drummer George been around and played together for over 30 years actually, since we were teenagers. So yeah, we started when we were still in school. Started to play together. He as guitar player and he on the drums, and we have been in several bands since then. But mostly we play together, and the Quill has been a band since '92 actually, and we've been around for over 30 years. And this is the new album. Wheel Evolution is our 10th album, I think, or 11th maybe. I lost count.
You're releasing your 11th album, Wheels Illusion, on March 29th via Metalville Records.
Time was able to put out music and have record labels enough interested to spend some money on us and make us release new albums once in every year. And it's amazing to still keep going after all these years, and to have a new album out, it's still as exciting as it was in the beginning. So yeah, I'm pretty psyched about this. I think it's a great album actually.
How do you think the writing process went on the album Wheels Evolution?
Sorry, can you take that again? I didn't hear
I
it.
said, how do you think the writing process went on the album Wheels Illusion? As in, how do you feel about how the writing process went for the album itself?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we started to write during the COVID, when this was still around, and we couldn't meet up in the rehearsal room as we used to, and we started to make some, demos at home at the computer and send emails back and forth to everyone in the band, and developed our song ideas via the internet and the recording systems in our computers. So that was quite different. But once we got rid of the COVID situation and we could meet up and rehearse the proper way, it went really smooth. We had tons of ideas to just rehearse and arrange, to do the final touches, and then we did a quick studio session, just over like 3 weekends or something like that, and then we had the record recorded and finished. So it was quite different, but quick. In once we got there face to face, we worked really quick.
How do you feel you evolved since you began in the 90s for your musical soundscape? As in, how has your music evolved over the years you've been around?
Well, I think the first 1 or 2 albums, maybe we were kind of trying to find our musical landscape, as you say. But I think by the third album that came out in 2002, we had our sound, and I think we have just kept to that more or less on every album. You have to make some differences from time to time. You find some inspiration from a new viewpoint, and you put that into the music. But we've got the same root is in every album. The more organic 70s heavy rock music with focus on the live playing of the band. We play together and try to don't be that static when we play, to keep the blues and the live performance feeling all the time, even in the studio. So I think that is the main thing about the quill. We try to play with each other as musicians and listen to what the other guy's doing and try to respond, take ideas from what the bass is doing or what the drums is doing, and I try to build on that in the guitars and back and forth. So that's the way we work, I think, when it comes to creating the vibe between the musicians.
How did you guys come up with the album title Wheels of Illusion?
Well, I mean, Magnus, the singer, writes all the lyrics, and he comes up with the titles and the lyrics, and then usually we just pick one of the songs to name the album, and that's been how we did it a lot of times. And we thought this is a good song title, and we can make a nice cover with this Wheel of Illusion picture. And yeah, that's why we went for it. And I mean, it's if you look at the world and how people live these days, it's much of a big illusion, everything with this cyber world, when everyone tries to come up with a persona that doesn't really exist in the real world, just for the internet followers and so on. So it's a world of illusions, I think, and we are just spinning in that wheel.
Okay. Just so you know, I jammed the album before the interview because I got up a little early today, and it's absolutely amazing, man.
Thank you. We are very pleased with it, and I think we got all the ingredients that the quill is about. We captured everything on this album, I think. So I'm happy that you like it.
Who's all in the current lineup, and what instruments do they play?
Yeah, it's me on the guitar, all the electric guitars and some acoustic. And then we got Roger Nilsson, who is the bass player, and he also added some keyboards and also some mandolin on this. So Roger and me handles all the strings and the keys. And then we got George Jolla, the drummer, who handles the drum kit, of course, but you know, the percussion stuff. And Magnus, the singer, he writes all the lyrics and he sings all the vocal melodies and comes up with the main structure for every vocal line. And also in the studio, he can sing harmonies with himself, of course. And then both Roger and me try to do some harmonies in the vocal area, both live and in the studio. And but we are a well-oiled four-piece. We know our strengths and our weaknesses, and we try to focus on what we are good at. And I think that what makes us really a tight unit.
Right on. This next one is a really good one.
Yeah.
Who designed the album art for Wheels of Illusion?
Oh yeah, that's a fantastic artwork. I really love it. It's the guy from Germany called Sebastian Jerke, and he's the designer, also a painter. And he has done a couple of album covers before we found him with some Swedish stoner bands or European stoner bands. And actually, it's a real painting that he has done. It's not a digital thing. He has sent us some sketches that he did with pen and paper, and then we decided, okay, this is what we want to do, and then he started to paint with a brush, a pen, on a real canvas, and then just digitalized that picture and made the cover of it. So it exists a real painting of the cover. I would love to see that, but would be a great thing. So he's amazing, and he has captured a lot of details from the lyrics in the cover as well. I mean, the main focus on the cover is a wheel that represents the wheel of illusion, and all the details around and inside the wheel is some details from song lyrics and other song titles from the album. So if you listen to the lyrics and read them closely, you can find a lot of things in the cover that are included in what Magnus is singing about. So I think that's really cool.
How did it feel having Magnus Ekwall, and I hope I got the name right, laying out the vocals for this album?
Yeah, I think he's an amazing singer, and I think actually he gets better and better for every year. And that's not the case for many singers. I mean, he is over 50 now, and he sings better than he did when he was 25. He can take all the high notes still, but he got much more stamina, much more power, and can vary his vocal melodies in a way he didn't do when he was younger. So he just keeps getting better and better. It's amazing, actually. I think he's one of the best hard rock singers there is out there at the moment.
Right on. How? Sorry, got lost in the question just for a sec. Does the band have any band gear endorsements?
Yeah, we got some string endorsements, and we got Jolly. He's like a guy. He's got endorsements for the drumsticks and the cymbals as well. So that's very good for him. He hits the cymbals very hard, and they don't live that long. So it's good for him to have a sponsor deal on cymbals. So that's really great. And we got some amp deals as well. So yeah, we're pretty much satisfied with that side of the business.
Does the band have any social media and network outlets it can be reached on?
Yeah, we got everything. I think we got the Facebook and the Instagram and TikTok and the YouTube. And I think we still got some X or Twitter account as well. I don't know if it's still active, but you can reach us on every platform on the internet. And we got a classic website as well that you can find. So,
would you mind? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No worries.
Would you mind giving the website address for the main website you have?
Yeah, the main website is thequill.se. That's all the Swedish websites are SE, so thequill.se. And there are the links to everything that I just mentioned, as well as our web shop, and you can find the touring dates and blah, 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 Spotify and everything. So, yeah, look us up, thequill.se, or just the Quill, or the Quill Sweden is also easy way to find us on Facebook and in Instagram and YouTube.
We have 3 more questions for the interview, and I'll need a couple of station IDs.
All right.
What are some of your favorite moments in the studio when you're recording?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them actually. It's really one moment that is really good is when we got all the drum tracks down, because that is a big first step to have everything. When all the drums are in place, then you start build everything around that. So I love that. And then when you find the guitar sound, you really want to. Sometimes it takes a lot of time to work out the sound, because when you're in the rehearsal room and you crank everything up and it sounds massive, that's always cool. But then you put a microphone in it in front of the amp, and then you stand in another room listening to it in a small studio speaker, then it sounds in a different way most of the time, and that can be a bit tricky to get the feeling of the big guitar sound that you want to have through those small speakers in the studio. But I think our producer is really good in finding the guitar sound. So when you find the right guitar sound, and then you can play with the sound you get, energy from, that's really nice. So I love that, tracking guitars with the right feeling, because you play so much better when the sound is right. So that's cool. And then all those small things that you don't do in the rehearsal room, you add extra vocals, you add some harmony vocals, or some tambourine or stuff like that. Experiment with those extra stuff that just makes the song go up a notch. That is cool. Yeah. And then when you have the vinyl album arrive at your house and you put it on for the first time, that is a really great feeling as well.
Just give me a sec here. I'm just thinking we still have a little time. So is it okay if I sneak one more question in, Christian?
Right. No worries.
Please give some guitar tips or guitar advice for starting out guitarists to help them get themselves better.
Well, I can tell you how I have done. And if you think I'm a good guitar player, maybe you can take my advice. What I did was I figured out just a couple of basic chords, the rock, the power chords, when you just push one or two or three strings together to make the ching ching ching. Then just learn songs. I learned from my early favorite bands, try to figure out how they play, and luckily it was my first favorite band that I tried to learn songs from were the Ramones, and their songs is quite easy. So it was a great starting point. Just figure out which chords fit together and how can I make songs with chords that fit together myself, because you have to know a little bit of harmony. If you take an A, and what kind of chords can I go to next to make it sound good together, but just try to figure out how to play your favorite songs, but start with the simple ones that sounds simple. And nowadays, I mean, there's millions of tutorials on YouTube, so that's cool. But pick stuff from your favorite guitar players. Try to learn and figure out how they do it, and then just go from there and try to mix those 3-4 guys that you appreciate, and see if you can find your own path through that, and then just go for it.
Who are the band's musical influences?
Well, I think we got a handful of bands that everyone in the band is really, really crazy about, and I think we all can agree on the big 70s bands, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. We also got a sweet spot for Captain Beyond, from a great 70s band. Oh, you got some cats.
I told you we had a couple of cats over here. Little rascals.
Yeah. Yeah, but the big 70s acts, of course, and we got some obscure 70s acts that we like as well. But also the early stoner bands. Some of them are really good. Monster Magnet, Fu Manchu, Caius, great bands. I appreciate some of the grunge era as well. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. They are pretty good. So I think, and we all love. There's some new bands that we really like as well. Greta, Van Fleet, Rival Sons, Wolfmother. They are not that new anymore, but they're more new than Led Zeppelin, I guess. So the early 70s bands, some of the grunge bands, the early stoner acts, and some of the new, more retro rock acts that are around now. So I think you can hear influences from all those genres in our music.
That leaves us with the last question of the interview, and then I'll need the station IDs.
Sorry, once more.
I said that leaves us with the last question of the interview, and I'll need the station IDs.
Yeah.
What band news do you have on the Quill front? As in anything we haven't covered so far in this interview?
I mean, I think you covered it all.
Okay, then we'll just get on to the station IDs.
Yep.
First one is, hey, this is Christian from the Quill, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
Mangold Music Radio. All right. Okay, here we go. Hi, this is Christian from the Quill, and you're listening to Mangold Music Radio.
Sorry, I was going to say when you're ready, and I screwed up. I talked over you for a second.
Okay.
You're going to have to do the tag one last time. Sorry, buddy. When you're ready.
I'm ready. Hi, this is Christian from the Quill. You're listening to Mangold Music Radio.
And the last one is the same, but for Craig's Metal Storm.
Craig's Metal Storm. All right.
When you're ready.
All right, here we go. Hi, this is Christian from the Quill, and you're listening to Craig's Metal Storm.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the interview.
No worries. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah.